Hey, this is Matt. In this doc, I want to walk you through what's going to save you a bunch of time and a bunch of money as you are bringing your project to market, developing your new project, marketing your project, and so forth. One thing, I really like giving you guys these docs, so I link below. Why do I like giving you guys docs? Because you can train your LLM. So whether you use ChatGPT, Claude, you have your own local LLM, use my docs, like add them into your LLM, and it is going to make your LLM, your ChatGPT, Claude, whatever you use, it's going to make it smarter. So always use my docs. I try to give you a doc with every video that I do. And I just want to add value. I just want to help you the best I can. So let's go through this. The operator's guide to building a software that ships, sells, scales. I have 20 years experience of this, and I personally have spent $2 million in the trenches on Upwork, hiring and firing people, having winning products, having failing products. I really combined all of that. Again, this is also written by my LLM with all of those wins and all those failures. So let's walk through it. So here's what's inside the playbook. Again, I'm not going to go word for word inside of everywhere, but what I want to do is bring each piece out that I really think is important to highlight and discuss. So read this first. I know this isn't for everyone, but before you spend the next hour inside of going through here, I want you to understand who this is for. And runtime on this, I'm going to try to keep this to 20 minutes, so not going to go off the rails or anything like that. So if you already run a business and you have revenue and you have customers and you're thinking about adding a software as a service on or some software platform, this is definitely for you. So definitely pay attention. If you see SaaS as an opportunity or building an app or whatever it is you want to call it, inside of your current market, this is for you. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of my winning projects and some of the things that you can take from each one of those. If you're not chasing the shiny objects, this is definitely for you. I definitely recommend don't chase shiny objects. You have a problem, find the software that fits the problem. But if you just find a software, don't try to fit software into finding a problem. You don't need to do that. And every time I see people doing that, whether it's in our community or online or as a client, you're going to be chasing your tail. So please don't do that. If you would rather understand the depth of what's required rather than be sold on a fantasy and waste your time or waste a year, this is absolutely for you. I'm going to just give you the no frills and really hit kind of hard on some of these pieces. So let's jump into it. So, all right, first thing to understand is the window. So there's a window of time, there's a window of opportunity right now, and this is bigger than any window that we've ever seen in history. I would argue that this is bigger than the Bitcoin window. If you had a time machine to go back in time, what would you do? Go back, and I would have went back and bought Bitcoin at $1, whatever. This is that scale of the opportunity. Why is it so important right now? Because so many software companies and different apps and different industries are going to totally be disrupted right now. So in our agency, just, showing you Scale Up Media is our agency. Inside of our agency, we do three things. We build, we market, and we automate. So there are three different processes that we run, whether you're building a new project, you're marketing your project, or trying to create agentic systems in order to automate processes. That is what we do at our company. So just, sharing with you the three branches of opportunities that exist right now. So either you're here because you own a company or you're looking to build something, or maybe you've been building something and you've been struggling to ship it and get it to market. Perfect timing. This is great for you to go through this. Or you're looking to market your product that you have, or you're looking to automate processes, maybe reduce headcount or reduce some of that manual work that you're doing. This is absolutely a time for you. So I just want to highlight a couple of things. There was the Base 44 that was solo. It sold to Wix. We have other projects, $3 million plus. 18 million on Midjourney's revenue that was divided by their head count. And this was, like it says, science fiction 5 years ago. But today, being able to run a business and absolutely disrupt industries is massive for a solo operator. Our team, we have about 15 people on our team, so definitely not solo operators, but it's myself and Woody, our project manager, and then We have our legal team, and we have other people like that facilitate the work that we do. But yeah, we do run 25 projects. As a solo operator, I have ran many successful projects and been able to take them to market, launch, and do incredible things. So I want to talk a little bit about the principles. And before we dive into the principles, let's talk a little bit about why startups fail. So according to CB Insights, 431 venture-backed startups, that's venture-backed. So money isn't a problem. And they have shut down since 2023. So here are some of the failures. So poor product market fit is 43% of the failures. Bad timing or macro conditions is 29%. Unsustainable unit economics is 19%. Not the right team is 23%. Outcompeted is 19%, and poor marketing and distribution is 14%. So this is cited off of CB Insights as some of the top reasons why startups fail. So it's not necessarily bad code. It's not the wrong tech stack. It's these problems. And these problems can be solved before you write a single line of code. And this is what we're going to be talking about. And I do mention Upwork a lot in here. So if you've ever tried to hire people on Upwork, it's another thing that I want to bring to light is often when they give you examples of successful projects that they've done before, which hopefully you're asking for that. Typically, a lot of them are dead companies that just get built and then they're just shelved or they don't even stay online. So it could be decent code, but they never go to market because these people that you're hiring on Upwork aren't necessarily the experts in product market fit and taking projects to market. And those are some of the core. And again, these are venture backed. These are companies that money isn't a problem. And if money isn't a problem, you have a high likelihood that you're building the wrong thing. So let's jump into the next one. How long startups actually last. So most startups fail. That's realistic. It's real. And year one, failure rate is 21%. Survival rate is 78%. By year five, 48% failure rate, 51% survival rate. Year 10, 65% failure rate, 34% success rate. SaaS at 3 years, 92% fail rate. And the survival rate's 8%. So it's pretty wild, the amount of software businesses that fail. So, not every business is going to be a success. I'm sure you even see restaurants in your neighborhood come up and a year or two later, depending on rent and so forth and overhead, becomes really difficult to run a business. SaaS is like with the ability of having Claude Code and having these AI systems today, you can spin up a SaaS in a day in a micro SaaS or some platform like that solves a problem. But the key thing is building the right project. And what I want to do is by the end of this, I want to give you access to my LLM that you'll be able to validate your project and go through and get some ideas on exactly based upon all these failures and all the successes, what you should be focused on and what you should be doing. So number 3 is vibe coding reckoning. So that's happening right now. So the term vibe coding was coined in February of 2025. So as I'm recording this in May of 2026, we're a year into this. It's going to accelerate. It's going to accelerate over the next couple of years. And there are more people coming online starting to vibe code. I have like 250,000 people on my email list. And, I'm teaching people how to vibe code. These are people that, were working in sales or working, a minimum wage job or doing whatever. They end up signing up for our program or coming into our newsletter and they start learning from us on how to do this. There are millions of people that are coming online right now trying to have a supplement income by learning technology and learning these things that we're talking about now. So it's happening right now. There is a mass exodus of that, workforce that's going on right now, and people are trying to figure this out. And, you can go through the AI generated code quality crisis, the data. These systems are getting smarter. They're getting better. Claude Code is getting better. These platforms are getting better at shipping, and it's absolutely insane. So why most non-technical founders should not build alone. So 3 to 5x of technical founders versus non-technical founders are building SaaS solo. This is pretty massive. Like, this is a hard hitting data point. Non-technical founders are not less smart. They're not less capable. They're just structurally disadvantaged when it comes to operating and building projects on their own. So it's that gap that we're solving in this video today. So many of you here might be building your first project. You might consider yourself non-technical or, fairly AI savvy. You are in a space with a ton of other people, and everyone is trying to compete for that same market share and what it is that we're doing. So in this video, we're going to talk about thinking a little bit differently, how to get that 1 degree shift in your project in order to make it a win right out of the gate. Like, why am I qualified to say this? Well, I launched a project and I had thousands of people sign up on day one. And I made all of my money back in the first week that I invested in building the project, and we grew to 350,000 users. I exited that business. So yeah, speed is important and direction is the product. So that's essentially what we need to accomplish. Again, all of this can be put into your AI and it will help write out what your plan should be a little bit cleaner, or you can always go through our project validator and it'll help with this. So really good stuff here. I'm not going to read every word because I said I'm going to keep this obviously to 20 minutes, but here are some prompts that you can run today. So number one prompt when I'm planning out a project is the graveyard scan. So please describe the SaaS here, and then you take this and then you fill this in. Don't soften this assessment. This is one thing that we do in our project validator, and this is a prompt that we use. And then we do our why now test, and we do our 1 degree shift test. So each one of these, you have to describe your project. You add these into your LLM that you're using, ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, whatever you're using, and it's going to help to diagnose. From there, you have this diagnosis. So you can name a couple of projects. I can articulate in one sentence what it is that I'm doing. Listen, we have hundreds of people that come in every single month. There was one month that I took 400 phone calls with people, and it was a test. It was kind of to see what was going on in the market and see where people's heads were. So I took 400 phone calls in 1 month. And when I took those calls, I was asking them in the beginning, can you name one sentence on why this is the right moment for this idea? And no one could do it. Not a single person, even projects that were live, so forth. Many of those projects are probably dead by now. And that was like a couple months ago. It was like 6 months ago. So probably a lot of them never even went to market, never even got their first customer. And it's a really hard thing. You spend months on something, why take your project all the way to a quiet death? And, it's really important to have, an outcome. So on launch day, I like to have a couple hundred or even 1,000 people sign up. And, that's the focus of our projects, is making sure that we get that traction right out of the gate. We build that momentum, and it all starts before a single line of code is written. So yeah, I've spent over $2 million on Upwork hiring and firing developers, and that's not a brag. I'm just warning you, this number is the cost. And you can go through and explain, what it is that we've done. But if you're spending 6 to 12 months on a project and you're 50K or more into the project, somebody you hired on Upwork that, just responded well and you just decided to hire them. I have 3 projects right now that we're working on that we're fixing what developers from Upwork couldn't deliver in 12 months, and we deliver in 90 days. So it's absolutely insane, like what that graveyard looks like and what that trap looks like from Upwork, because you think like, hey, Upwork, it's a great place. I can get 100, applicants to build this platform, and it comes through in like 24 hours. And then some of them look amazing and they say the right things and they have 5-star ratings and 100% job success. But then you start to get drift and then deadlines slip. No one is able to deliver. It's one of the most common things. And every single person that we bring on and we work with, we have this problem that I've hired people before and everything drifted and, it wasn't shipped. Like, we're like 90 days, I can ship that, 2 months, I can ship that, 30 days, I can ship that. And it's not a rare story. It just happens. And the one guy was like, I'm 12 months into this. We took a look at the app, it was clearly just programmed with Lovable. And, we actually fixed a lot of it, but we just had to burn a lot of the code because it just wasn't functional. Like, they didn't even write it with workers. They just wrote this linear process, and it never functioned. It never worked. And we were able to get it working in 30 days and got it to market within 90 days. So it makes a really big difference working with good product managers that can take, context of what you have and turn it into a working product. And that's really where this is coming from. So the framework is these 3 questions, and this will filter out 90% of the bad hires. So these are my questions. Show me the SaaS product that you built end to end for a non-technical founder. What does a founder say about working with you today? And walk me through how you would architect the first 90 days of this project. So if they can't do that, then you move on. Here are the prompts that you can run today in order to hire the right developers or, get the right thing going in the project. Again, if you want to save time, you can always just go to scaleupmedia.com and just bring us on board, and we could definitely do your project in 90 days. I mean, obviously we got to talk about it and understand, what you want to do. I had one guy that wanted to send up satellites into outer space. I was like, do you have earmarked $1 billion? Maybe it's not going to work. But point is, if it is something feasible, reasonable, and something we can do, definitely take us through this and through the technical sniff test and through your portfolio audit, and we'll definitely nail this for you. But if you want to go to Upwork, you want to roll the dice and see if you can find somebody a couple dollars cheaper, definitely go there, check it out, and run through that. So just trying to give you a full context of what we need to do in that regard. So the missing decision maker. So this is what we bring to every single project, and this is one of the biggest factors that you're missing in a project would be that decision maker. So every software project that I've ever seen has the same thing. It's not the developer, it's not the AI, it's not more money. What's missing is a single person who owns the outcome. Not to write the code, not to run the ads, not to approve mockups, just to own the outcome. So this is a hard truth that these projects are going to fail if you've never ran a software company before. And we specialize working with non-technical founders, and we do that all the time. And maybe something that you try to vibe code yourself. And, we have a project going on right now that I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it yet because it's under NDA, but we're going to market really soon with it. My point of saying that is he tried to program the project himself. We actually met here in Naples, Florida, and got together, and he was showing me his project, and I was like, did you start with a PRD? Did you do this? And went through explaining the entire workflow and the process of how to build great projects with AI. And he didn't. And it's okay. But, the hard truth is having a product owner, and that product was failing for 12 months. And we came in and built something that is tangible, is working, and we're actually running systems with it, something very complex, and literally doing something that companies like Meta are spending billions of dollars trying to figure out. And we programmed that, and we did it for we came in under budget, and I think we budgeted probably $60,000. We came in under budget, and it's a $500,000 app that we developed. And the key thing is we knew exactly what needed to be developed, and we knew exactly how to develop it and exactly how to take it to market. And it's that decision making in the process where we can own the entire product roadmap. We can own the user workflow, exactly who it's for, exactly what we're doing. We can own the timeline. We own the trade-offs. We don't have any drift. We don't have scope creep. We don't have any of those problems. We're owning the launch. We're owning the post-launch, and we're handling the entire machine for them. So why that machine was built for the role, we have AI swarms that we built. So we have our entire LLM, and we have our LLM with their Obsidian brain that does all the building and all the QA and marketing and tracking and reporting and optimizing and managing, all of that right inside of our system. So that's what we run. That's how we run our system. And it's something that we built based upon all of the knowledge of 20 years experience of building, and all of this document and everything that we have here came from the LLM that built our entire system. So I'm kicking you guys out training, trying to help you guys out the best I can. But yeah, here are some prompts that you can run today for the decision maker audit and the fork simulation. And that will help you to understand what needs to be developed. Here's your self-diagnosis on the single leverage decision point that you can make for your software project. So principle number 4 is our marketing first building. So when we're building a project, we're thinking about marketing first. We're thinking about, how we're going to attract the user, who is our exact ICP, ideal customer profile, exactly how we're going to take this project to market. Because, let's face it, we're all using Claude Code and Lovable and Replit and all these other platforms today. It's not the code that's bad. It's the direction on how we're approaching the app that needs to be resolved. And I have an entire inbox full of people that are, messaging me saying, hey, I have my project, I have my app, it's totally done, it's live, it's in production. We don't have a single user. Well, if you don't have a single user, then you skipped over this principle, because when you do go to market, you should have users on board day one. You should have people coming on door, knocking on your door, waiting to come on board and use your product because you answered the question. So 14% of startups fail because of poor marketing, according to CB Insights, and the real number is much larger than no market needed of 42%. So building to build, building the wrong thing, not focusing on the right ICP, not understanding that, going through your process and going through the process of taking your product to market. So this is a trap. You spend 6 months, $80,000 building your product, you go to launch, you announce it to your audience, you get 30 signups in the first week, and then it goes flat. That's generous. There are so many projects with 0 users, and don't feel bad if that's you. It would just be a small course correction, which is, again, this video that we're making right now is that course correction. So here's the 5 go-to-market questions I ask before any feature is built. So I know the answer before we build a single feature. So go through this, answer them, use your LLM to answer these, and it's absolutely going to help you. So again, I built an app that hit 350,000 users. It didn't hit it in 60 days. I built the app in 60 days, and we hit 350,000 users in 1 year. 0 advertising. It was all built based upon referral advertising and affiliate advertising, and really keying in on curiosity. We did amazing things through there, and really take it from me, these are how we take products to market. So I had another app that I took to 65 million daily users. It was one of the top 100 most visited websites in the internet when I built it. And none of that happens without the marketing being in the design. So it's one of the most important pieces of it is to build your marketing into your app. And I see way too many software products that we work with in our community. At macganzak.com is our community. I guess I'll go there and show it to you. So inside of our community, I work with people, and we do weekly breakdowns each Wednesday. And we really break down what the problem is. So one of the problems that I see over and over again is the landing page is too focused on features, and it's not focused on the outcome. So people buy because of outcome, they don't buy features. So if you're building a product and your landing page just looks like a list of features on what it is that your product does, they don't care what it does, they care about the outcome. You build that into your product, you're going to have a much bigger outcome on what you're looking to accomplish in terms of daily revenue, daily signups, and daily growth, really building that momentum towards your product. So that's one of the keys of everything that we do. And here are my prompts on the go-to-market pre-flight. The anti-bloat filter, which is really important. Let me go to the next line. And the positioning forge. So here's the self-diagnosis to break down exactly where your product is. So if you just programmed it in Claude Code or Lovable, Replit, one of those platforms, try to identify and check off 3 or 4 of these items on your product. And this is going to have a huge impact on the results that are going to be tied to when you do go to market and when you launch. So principle number 5 is our outcome per dollar. So the cheapest hire in software is the one that actually ships. So in this window of the same $50,000, you'll buy wildly different outcomes depending on who is doing the work. pro operator at 50,000 can produce a SaaS product. And if you try to replicate this in chaining AI tools together and freelancers and so forth, it's going to end up costing $500,000, take twice as long. Meanwhile, that same $500,000 spent on AI to Upwork chain produces zero shippable output. So it matters how you deploy your capital in order to have the result of what you're trying to achieve. And this is a cost picture of what that looks like. Your apparent costs, your real total costs, traditional agency versus, taking a product to market. And here's like what our cost and what the breakdown looks like. So yeah, we're building like $500,000 products and doing it for a fraction of the cost. And then, yeah, we do like taking a little piece of the revenue that comes in, and that's what it allows us to share in that win with you, and we can ramp up, scale, and do amazing things together. So we actually bill $95 an hour as of right now, and it's an outcome per dollar. So at $120 an hour that never ships anything, at $95 an hour who ships in 90 days, what makes the most sense? Like, do you want to save time? You want to hit that gap, or do you want to wait 6 months to a year and try to get to where you're going? So essentially, we're helping to ship projects and really fit that gap and solve problems to accelerate your vision in order to get it online in 90 days. And let's face it, after 90 days, like, you're thinking about something else. You saw some other video, you saw something else, you start losing momentum on it. I've seen that happen all too often. And with the acceleration of AI, I'm seeing it happen more and more and more with different people that are coming into our venture studio and, creating multiple projects and just getting nowhere with anything. So, we really like to own it. We like to own the win. And here are some of those prompts today that you can do a quote audit, an outcome forecast, and understand where it is that we need to go. And then here's your self-diagnostic on exactly where to take it from there. So again, our idea validator, it's no cost to you. It takes about 60 seconds to go through it. Just come to Scale Up Media, get your project score now, and you'll go through, sign up. First thing you're going to do is sign an NDA, go through that, because we have no reason to take ideas. Like, that's not why I built it. The only reason I built the idea validator is to give you that understanding of where you need to go with your project, what you need to accomplish, and how you need to get there. So I want to help you to accelerate, and whether you bring us on board or not, I want to give you that ability to have the understanding of where your project is going to win and where it's going to fail. So we built this. It's with our internal LLM, and most operators discover their idea has a fatal flaw. And without spending that $80,000 or 6 months or hiring somebody on Upwork and spinning your wheels, you'll be able to accelerate much faster. And we've had great success with that and with the projects that come in. Again, running like 25 projects in our platform, and we have more people coming in every single day. And we would like to, show you exactly what we can do. So if you come on board, you say sign on a Monday, by Friday, we'll have a preview URL up and running. So that's the speed of which we work inside of Scale Up Media. And that's the speed based upon the entire architecture of our systems that we put in place and what it is that we do and how we achieve our goals and what we do. So again, your idea is protected. We have an NDA. You can sign up there, go through the process, and it'll be all covered through the NDA. And we'll be able to go. So 90-day pre-build checklist. So 20 questions you need to answer before writing a single line of code. So this is kind of a recap of the idea validation, which is our principle 1, our hiring process, which is principle 2, our decision maker, which is principle 3, go to market, which is principle 4, outcome per dollar is principle 5, and risk management. So go through that and see how that helps out. Now, we have 2 doors from here. So we have our sprint and we have the venture studio, and it's really your call on which you would want to do. So you can jump on board and join our sprint, or you can go through the sprint community is here at mackanzak.com, and getting your idea set up on Scale Up Media and going through the idea validator is in scaleupmedia.com. So you can go through there. One more thing is, in the community, we give access to our idea validator to our community members. We have other software that we've deployed to our community members. We're working on another one right now, which is actually a tax app, and that's going to go live, and that's going to be free for our community members. So we build stuff and we give it out to our community and we let our community use it, or we can, build a cooperative venture with you and you can go to Scale Up Media and sign up there. So the only wrong door is doing nothing. So if you don't want to do either of those and you don't want to come and join our community and, learn from people and be around other people that are building and shipping products, and you just want to keep going at it alone, that's fine. Just understand that window is closing and the opportunity is closing. So just don't do nothing. Like, at least take this document and put it into your LLM and have it start telling you what you need to do better based upon this document, which is absolutely going to help. So hopefully that helped, guys. I might have went a little bit over time, but I want to see you guys in either Scale Up Media, because if time is valuable to you and you really want to accelerate and you really want to get this project to market, come here and see our agentic systems in action and what we can build. Scale Up Media was built with Claude Code, which is a pretty amazing platform that we have. So go through it, take some ideas from what it is that we built in terms of onboarding, workflow, everything just being absolutely seamless with getting up and running. It starts coding and building the app. You get to see it. Pretty incredible. And if you want to see under the hood at how we build things, you can get started at mattganzak.com and come and join our Sprint community. Thank you guys so much. I have some awesome videos coming, so be sure to subscribe. And if you're not already on the newsletter, be sure to go to mattganzak.com. You can subscribe to the newsletter right down here at the bottom. You can go ahead and fill that out and you can subscribe to our newsletter. So thank you guys so much, and we'll see you here on the next video.